Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Nur Batrisha Ishira, and today I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite species of the plant because it is very unique to me. Like, it is also the simplest group of land plants on earth. So, you must already know that angiosperms are the largest group of land plants because Shakila just now already explained about it. But, you know what is the second largest group of land plants on earth? Yes or no? Never mind. Let me find it for you. But to find it, you must know that this plant loves to stay hydrated. So it is always keeps moisture to itself. And because of that, we need to find it at the damp and shady place. So without further ado, let's go. So, can you guys guess what species of plants is it? It is the bryophytes, or to be very specific, the classification that I choose now is the mosses. Let me show you the close-up of the mosses. Now, the domain of this bryophytes is eukaryotic. It does look super tiny, but it is the multicellular cell. Obviously, mosses belongs to the plantae kingdom. Although it doesn't have roots, stems, or leaf, it does have the chloroplast, which means it still undergo photosynthesis process. Now, this is what makes it unique. It is categorized in phylum Bryophyta because it is the only non-vascular plant that ever exists. So how actually does the plant's transportation process occur in bryophytes without the existence of xylem and phloem? The answer is bryophytes rely on diffusion and also osmosis. I did mention that bryophytes are small in size and also live in moist places. And why is that? Remember, the smaller the cell, the larger the surface area. Thus, all bryophyte cell can absorb enough needed nutrients and allow osmosis and also diffusion. It belongs to Polytrichopsida class, Polytrichus for the order, included in Polytrichaceae family. The genus is Polytrichum, and there are about 8,000 species of bryophytes mosses in the world. And the species that we find right now is included in Andreopsida species. Now, what is the pattern of the life cycle for bryophytes? Two important things that you need to know. Number one, sporophytes creating spores, and number two, gametophyte creating gametes. So, two haploid gametes will form diploid sporophytes, and when the sporophytes start to develop organs called sporangia, it will undergo meiosis and produce haploid spores that then are released to be carried away by the air or the water. When the spore reaches a suitable environment, the process of developing gametophyte will begin. Starting from the spores undergo mitosis and forming the haploid gametophyte. Gametophyte that will produce gametes that are then broadcast into the environment or to the other plant. Then the cycle will begin again and again, and two haploid gametes combine and forming zygote again and become sporophytes. And lastly, the bryophytes are believed to have the medical values, such as it is used to treat cystitis, bronchitis, tonsillitis, pneumonia, and also fever. That's it for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aledina. So the true friend is classification as a Polosopida, non-flavorous plant because it's producing a flower no seeds. The scientific name of this true friend is Phylum Petrodiphyta. It have roots, stems, complex leaf, and reproduce by spores. So this is the example of the true friends. As you can see here, yes, this is the shape of the true friend. This is the example of Petrodiphyta. So the example for Trigopteris connectus, so one of the Petrodiphyta is this one. Then this cute little one. Explain about the lexical. So the clusters of the sporangia, which is spore cases, grow on the undersurfaces of the mature plant, and then it's released from its sporangia. The haploid spore is carried to the ground by the wings, where it germinates into a tiny, usually heart-shaped of genotype and caught by the ground by the rhizoid. It is like a projection. Under most conditions, mature sperm are released from the enteridia and swim to the eggs producing encogena and have formed the genotype lower surface. And then when the fertilization occurs, a zygote forms and develop into the embryo. So lastly, the embryo eventually grow and become a sporophyte. I'm going to explain about the taxonomy. So the kingdom for this plant are Plantae, and the division is Pedophyta, and the class is Polypodopsida, and the order are Athlelis, and the family are Tradici, and the genus are Phagophilus. This is the example of the genus. So the habitat for this plant, the range of habitat sheltering predators include moist or dry rocks, tree trunk, fresh water bodies, and including marshes and swamp. So you can see this is the place that mostly predators going to plant. And about the medical uses, so Lexoptes species usually used for the antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and anti-diabetic. And lastly, the anti-Alzheimer for medical uses for curing other diseases. So this is some of example, as you can see. So it is very tiny, but it has a many useful thing. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Karim Afiq bin Ahmad Kamarifin, and today I'm going to introduce you about chordata. So, what is chordata? Chordata is specifically under phylum. So, today we have the domestic water buffalo. So, let's take a closer look. So, chordata means an animal that has a backbone, which is a vertebrae. So, its habitat, buffalo is usually lives in a muddy place, in muddy water, usually in Asia's tropical or subtropical forest. So, buffalo usually lives up to 15 to 35 years. So, let us discuss the taxonomy of this domestic water buffalo. So, the first is the kingdom. The kingdom for this buffalo is Animalia. The class for this buffalo is Mammalia because buffalo is warm-blooded animal. So the order for this buffalo is Arthodactylia, and the scientific name for this buffalo is Babalus babalis. And for the family for this buffalo is Bovidae. So after that, let us know the diseases that can be transmitted through the buffalo. So the first is this buffalo can carry diseases or pathogen such as rotavirus, which can cause salmonellas, and after that bovine brucellosis, which can cause tuberculosis. That's all for today. Thank you very much for me.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon everybody. I'm Shakila and today I'll be walking you through angiosperms. So what are angiosperms? Angiosperms are basically seed-bearing plants that have both male and female gametophyte. It means it can carry out double fertilization on its own. Approximately 80% of angiosperms are of the green plant that we can see in our world today. And there are about 250,000 estimated species of them. Let us walk through and see what we have today. Right here with me we have the West Indian holly, which is also known as Turnera. So let us classify this into furthermore. The West Indian holly belongs to the kingdom of Plantae and its scientific name is Turnera almifolia. It belongs to the phylum of angiosperms, and this Turnera also belongs to the order of Melpighialis and also family of Passifloraceae. It is also a genus of Turnera and its species is T. almifolia. So this Turnera can be found in a human distributed area, which means you can find this in the back of your house, in the garden, or even on the roadside. which means this tunera, it have a wide geographic distribution. It become widely naturalized at tropical or subtropical forest area. So this West Indian holly, it reproduces through pollination. Fertilization involves the union of egg and the sperm. In the ovary, after the sperm and the egg has been fertilized, it will form a zygote. The zygote then develops into an embryo. This embryo will further develop into simple fruit. So the fruit is basically the ovary and the seed of the plant is the ovule. The seed then will go through germination process. Then the life cycle of the plant continues. The agent of pollination can be insects, for example like bees, and also animal like bats and birds. So this tunera also have many medical benefits. The first benefit is that it can be used as anti-inflammatory. It can also help with gastric problems such as constipation and diarrhea. Not only that, it can also act as an antioxidant. The extract of this tunera is very high in antioxidant and it can be really useful for our liver as it can allow us to carry out detoxification of drugs. So this is all about the West Indian holly plant. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. This is all from me.
Hi everyone, I'm Sini, and for the genusperms topic, I have already found an example that's called Netum lemon that's behind of me. Genusperms are seed plants that do not produce flowers. Netum lemon is a species of Netum native to Southeast Asia and Western Pacific Ocean islands from Mizoram and Assam in India, south and east through Indonesia and Malaysia to Philippines and Fiji. It is from the kingdom Plantae and is clade Trichophytes. Netum is classified into Netumphyta. Netumphyta is just like other members of genusperms that released from the past. Only 3 families, each containing a single genus, are still alive today. It usually consists of tropical plants, trees, and shrubs. They are characterized by flowery leaf and they have a soft coating. The primary difference between Netumphytas and other genusperms is the presence of vessel animals, a system of conduits that transport water within the plant similar to those found in most flowering plants. The genus of Netum is Netum. Netum is a genus of genusperms. The sole genus is the family Netaceae and order Netales. They are tropical evergreen trees, shrubs, and lichens. Unlike other genusperms, they possess vessel elements in the cells. Their leaves are rich in bioactive compounds such as flavonoids and stimulants. Of the species studied so far, Netum have photosynthesis and transpiration capacity which are considerably lower than those of other seed plants, due to the absence of multiple chloroplast genes essential for photosynthesis. As in all other spicicular plants, genusperms have a spotted dominant life cycle. The gametophyte phase is relatively short, and since gametes produce on the reproducing organs, which are usually corn. When the pollen reaches the egg cells, either by wind or by animal through pollinations, the pollen grain resists the single sperms. The nuclei of the female and the male gametophyte then fuse to create a diplozygote. The endosperms, a haploid nutrition tissue, is released from the endosperm's mother cells and surround the zygote to form a seed. The seeds appear as scales, which are visible of the cone of gamosperms. Then scales are disappears to form a new self-fertilizing saurophytes with growth in the mature saurophytes, and the cycles continue. Other medicinal use of genusperms include tassels. The main application of drugs is in the chemotherapy of breast cancer. Imiferins is an alkaloid that is extracted from the plant Apheda and is used in the treatment of cold, cold, and asthma. Hi everybody, my name is Danya and today I'm going to be talking about a type of fungi which is wood decay or xylophagus fungus. It is a species of fungus that digests moist wood which causes it to rot. So its scientific name is Ganoderma alphalanatum. It is commonly known as artist bracket, artist conch, artist fungus or beer bread. They are a type of bracket fungus with a cosmopolitan distribution. This fungus is parasitic and saprophytic and grows as mycelium within the wood of living and dead trees. The Ganoderma alphalanatum grows in a single, scattered or compound formation. As you can see here, it grows as a single formation. It forms fruiting bodies that are 3 to 30 cm wide, 50 to 50 cm long, and 1 to 10 cm thick. They are hard as leather, woody textured, and inedible. They are white at first, but they soon turn to dark brown or red brown. The upper surface of the fruiting body is covered with reddish-brown conidia. These types of fungi can be found in soils that is rich in humus and plant debris. Most of them make their home in subtropical humid forests of most continents, within the wood of living and dead trees. Their life cycle is the brown spores from the fungi are released from the pores on the underside of the fruiting body. The spores are highly concentrated and can be as many as 4.65 billion pores that can be dispersed from a 10 to 10 centimeter section of the conch within 24 hours. The tubes are 4 to 12 millimeter deep and terminate in pores that are round with 4 to 6 per millimeter. The fruiting bodies are perennial and they persist for multiple years, increasing in size and forming new layers of pores as they grow. These layers can be distinguished in a cross-section or from observation of the concentric rings on the upper surface of the fruiting body. This allows the fruiting body's age to be determined using the same method as tree rings. The taxonomy for Ganoderma apollinatum is that the kingdom is classified as fungi, the division is Basidiomycota, the class is Agaricomycetes, the order is Polyporales, the family is Ganodermataceae, and the genus is Ganoderma. And last but not least, the species is Ganoderma apollinatum. And then, the medical value of Ganoderma apollinatum has been extensive throughout thousands of years. In Chinese medicine, this fungus has been used to treat rheumatic tuberculosis and esophageal carcinoma. It's also been used more commonly to resolve indigestion, relieve pain, reduce phlegm, and as a regulator for body immunity. Ganoderma apollinatum is generally studied from three angles: medicinal, phytophylological, and biotechnological. Medicinal fungi such as G. apollinatum are of special interest due to their antibiotic properties. Methanol extracts from G. apollinatum have shown that the fatty acids present, such as palmitic acid, show antibacterial properties. Compared to synthetic antibiotics, these compounds extracted from G. apollinatum lack problems of drug resistance and side effects.